Gee, is that a Domino's bun you're picking out of, Brandon? Oh my goodness.
About news, sports, video games, movies, TV shows, pro wrestling, and much, much more. And now, here are your hosts as we start the Rant and Rave podcast. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting edition on the Rant and Rave podcast. I'm one of the main co-hosts, Brandon Martin. Alongside of me, as usual, the other main co-host, Jordan Little.
It's great to be here. And for the record, this past Sunday was, without a shadow of a doubt, one of the best NXT takeovers I've ever seen. But right now, with us could be another potential co-host, but still here as usual. Mr. David 3K, David St. Dennis. So, how you doing?
Doing
And
good.
ladies and gentlemen, the moment that you all been waiting for, and guys, you're more than welcome to ask questions to this certain individual, which is the verified champion himself, Mr. Steve Meigs, everybody.
What's up, fellas? I'm sure everybody's waiting for me right now.
Yeah, sorry we had to keep you waiting. I had to do some stuff, and everything else was all just a shat show. So sorry.
You have a kid? Did you say you had to put a kid down or something? Or
No. I take care of my siblings. You know.
oh, okay, right on.
Anyway, so as usual, Brandon will also have 5 topics. 2 other topics he'll have to make up on the fly. David himself will have 5 topics, and it'll also be a rant on a certain individual who's been trolling him recently, which is a pain in the arse.
Zach, the spammer, or the fragmentationer? Show us those pearly whites.
And also my topics. Oh man, I have a certain main event that will be closing the show like no other, regarding to another certain individual who decided to make a joke on someone else's murder.
The price is wrong, bitch.
The Grim Reaper himself, Adam Sandler. But you probably know where I'm getting at with this, and with that being said, let's go! And we're going to start off with the interview with Steve Meigs.
Yep, that is right.
Who wants to go first in asking a question? Someone here on this call. Who wants to go first?
Since I booked the guy, though, I can, Jordan.
Well, yeah, well, go ahead, Booker, man.
I know. Anyway,
Some tension going on this show, I see.
I know. Anyway,
No, that's the other guy having tension.
anyway, I mean, congratulations on your baby there, Steve. I mean,
Thank you.
yeah, you're welcome. I mean,
Oh, congrats
Yeah.
on the baby! First beer's on me.
Dude. Yeah, I had a beer last night. It was like the greatest beer I've had. First beer since having the kid. We had a night out away from our kid. Our in-laws watched her. She's 2 months old and incredible, but man, that Corona was the best thing I've had in a while. Just to be able to lay back and enjoy watching a concert and not having to worry about a child that just screams for no apparent reason. It was pretty awesome.
This is good memories for your child to look back on when she watches this.
Yeah. Like, here's the moment where I shared with a group of wrestling fans that you led me to drink again. Thank you very much, Tatum. No, she's an incredible kid. It's been awesome. But and props to my wife. She still lets me do my crazy wrestling stuff and disappear for sometimes 10 hours in a day while she's watching our child, which I can't thank her enough for that. Everybody losing their minds in the crowd, and it looks cooler, but sometimes it doesn't work out that way, and sadly you don't have a chance to redo it on live television. So I never get too hard on.
That's what he said, right, guys? Because of
I never get too hard on moments like that because you know that it wasn't intentional, and it's a dangerous form of theater, and it's a dangerous sport, and those things are going to happen, and I'm just glad that they're okay.
Yeah, but you know. Okay, so Tom in. Ask, what does Steve do for fun?
I play music. I play drums. So when I do have a chance to play music, that definitely a lot of fun. I mean, I'm like everybody probably watching this podcast and the host as well. I watch a lot of wrestling. I recently subscribed to the IWTV independent wrestling channel, and I fall down the wormhole all the time. Whether it be I'll just type in a wrestler I want to watch matches with, Jake Atlas or Orange Cassidy or whatever it may be, and I'll just sit there and watch the matches and maybe watch the full event. So yeah, that's pretty much what I do for fun is watch a lot of wrestling and hang out now with my daughter, just watching her stare at lights and do nothing. But it's super entertaining because it's our kid.
Yeah. I have a feeling that she's gonna probably, take a lot of bumps and bruises one day in her future. I can see. I got a crystal ball in my hands, dude. Don't yeah. Anyway, okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to convince my wife, hey, we should have her learn gymnastics. And she's like, you just want her to do gymnastics so one day she's ready to be a wrestler. I'm like,
Oh, she caught in your little plot right there.
Oh, she's on to me. I'm definitely not smarter than my wife.
That is funny. I will give you that. Okay. He also asked, Game Show Fan 2001, our good friend Dane Lewis asks, Steve, what was it like meeting Eminem?
It was awesome. Because I met him when he was barely known. He just put out the first record. He came to town and played a place called the Showbox, which, if you're not in Seattle, you don't know the club, but it basically holds about 800 to 900 people. And he was touring in support of his first record. Came to our radio station. Nobody wanted to interview him because he's a hip hop artist, and we worked at an alternative rock station. I already knew, I was like, oh no, dude, I've heard of this guy. He's pretty rad. I want to interview him. So I was basically the last person willing to chat with him because no one else heard about him, and had a great time talking to him. He was nothing but great. I did a whole interview with him, realized I wasn't recording, felt like an idiot. So I had to be like, hey, I never hit record. And I thought he was going to walk out because, I just wasted 15 minutes of his time. And he was just like, no, let's just do it again, man. I appreciate that you're the only, because I guess his label was making him go to alternative rock stations to try and win over the non-hip hop crowd for some reason. And he said I was the only person in that string of interviews that didn't question his hip hop abilities because he's white. And you don't think about it now, but think about back when he first started. There were so many people clowning on him because really outside of Eminem, it was Vanilla Ice or the dude from Third Base, which was not a big band, but so he was appreciative of that. And fast forward a few months after that, I went to the Warped Tour. He was playing on the second stage, and he was doing an interview with MTV. And I walked by because I was talking to someone who knew him, and he stopped the interview.
It's not Ms. TV.
No. He stopped the interview with MTV at the time and just came over to give me a hug and say, hey, man, I remember you. And I was just like, okay, this is pretty surreal. I doubt he'd remember me now. This is over 20 years ago. But my experience with Eminem was beyond positive. The guy was awesome. I don't know what he became ever since then.
Better hit the deck like the car dealer.
I don't know what fame does to somebody, but as a guy that was just trying to get his name out there, he was incredible.
Okay. So, okay.
Besides wrestling, what other sports do you like?
I play hockey still, so hockey's I've been playing that since I was a kid. I'm a Devils fan.
Oh, okay. I was just going to say, if you're a Penguins fan, I'm going to say Penguins shat.
Good. No. Screw the Penguins. I was about to use a bad word. There's a few teams that, and my buddy Jay is a huge Penguins fan, and it's just there are moments where we go get chicken wings and watch some hockey, and we just get uncomfortable because you can't like them, but he can, of course. So I'm a big Devils fan. I still play hockey. I'm a goalie. It's definitely, that's the one sport that I still pay attention to. Other than that, I love football. I love watching it. I actually went to the XFL game here in Seattle to see the Dragons play, and that was super fun. Apparently, Shane McMahon was there. I was kind of bummed I didn't get to run into him.
XFL, why'd you have to say that? But then again, you know what? Better XFL than NFL for all the crap they pulled.
Dude, it was insane. There were 30,000 people that came out to see the Seattle Dragons play. Your face answers the question. It's right there. It's it was shocking.
No. I'm not going to do. I'm not doing it. No, I know they're expecting me to do it, but no, I'm not. Not even for.
Do it.
I love David's twisting the screws on you.
I don't want to do it. Please, man. I don't want to freak out. No more. Anyway. Try the freaking flag. Anyway. Oh, my God. Hold on. Okay. Brandon, you got a question?
Whew.
I'll
All right.
be right back.
Yeah,
It's, not gonna, it's got nothing to do with the Prestige World title.
All right. For my question for you, Steve, is this. I mean, how long you been working at the KISW 99.9 FM radio station?
14 years.
Wow.
Anything interesting in those past 14 years? Like any controversies, whatever?
Oh man, there's been a ton. I'm trying to think of like some of the better ones. There was That's a good question. I mean, it's one of the oldest stations here in town. It's a rock station, which it's rare these days because a lot of them are kind of falling off the wayside. We've had weird lawsuits happen over the course of our time. We've had.
Oh my God.
We had, you know what the craziest thing was? Zach Wilde from Black Label. He came to our station one time and was just S-faced. I mean, and which is expected. It's Zach Wilde. You don't expect him to show up sober. But he got so drunk that he hit that point in his drunkenness that he went from being a happy, loud drunk, then came a slightly angry drunk, and then became a very sad drunk and locked himself in our kitchen and wouldn't come out for hours. And we're just like, what do we do? We have a rock star locked in our kitchen and we think he's crying. We don't know what's going on. He just got so wasted. It was just one of those moments where finally, like, his crew had to come up, convince him to open the door. And none of us are going to get, like, in Zach Wilde's face. It's Zach Wilde. That guy's a freaking beast. That was pretty crazy. And then the other craziest thing I could think of offhand is we had Jake the Snake Roberts in studio when Jake was not doing well. It was like he was doing a tour. And he shouldn't have been brought in. It was awkward, but we were trying to get through it. And I do a show, my co-host, he said something that was complimentary towards Jake, but Jake was not there. You know what I mean? It wasn't Jake. And he looked at him and he goes,
Sorry about that.
Oh, no,
I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no worries. But he just basically looked at the guy and goes, "You haven't walked a mile in my shoes," and then stood up and started and he was like angry. And I'm in the middle. So there's like co-host on one side, Jake the Snake Roberts right next to me. Huge wrestling fan, grew up loving Jake the Snake. Hell, I brought up the DDT. It was one of my 4 moves. That's the reason why I love Jake the Snake Roberts. And I'm like, oh my God, he's going to now try and fight my co-host. Like, he's walking towards him. Like, what is your problem? So in my head, I'm like, oh, this is really awkward. I have to get in between the two of these because my co-host, I'm not going to let him just get hit, by Jake the Snake Roberts. So I'm like, I guess I'm going to get my ass kicked by Jake the Snake Roberts, which is really cool, but it's also like, I don't really want to have my morning be that way. So luckily he had a guy with him, Jim Rose from the Jim Rose Side Circus, and Jim was able to calm Jake down. But there was a brief period of time that it was like really scary. And then fast forward like 3-4 years later, we had Jake in completely sober, and it was like a whole other human being. It was really cool to see him and meet him then as a sober person, as opposed to this really shell of a human being that he was at the time.
What the frack?
Yeah.
But still.
Then he gets out of that kitchen, later on goes and plays a show at a local club and kills it. Like as if none of that ever happened.
Maybe you took some like that stuff that helps you, helps you get over your hangover or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's called cocaine. Yeah, I think he might. No, I don't know.
Oh,
I'm kidding. You know, the guy who I recently just have been really geeking out about is Zicky Dice on NWA.
We had him 2 weeks ago.
The NWA Tough Challenge.
That's a good guy.
Joey Ryan. That was a lot of fun. That match just came out on the internet.
You mean the guy who has a
strong pee-pee?
Yeah. Not like a quote unquote long PP. Now I don't want to call it any names. Danny Lewis.
That's my man right there. That guy. He just recently, we were on the same show in Bellingham at 5cc, and man, that guy. It doesn't matter if he's performing in front of several hundred to 50 people. He knows how to entertain from the minute he walks out of that curtain. And what he does in the ring is awesome. More is like I put a lot of like my stuff that I've done in the world of wrestling that I don't really share. It's just more just so I have a place to keep it, and I put it out there unlisted so that one day when my daughter's old enough to watch videos, I can, if YouTube still exists in like 10 years, I don't know. I'll be able to play it for her. I hope so. I mean, there was one point where probably people thought MySpace was going to last forever.
Ha. Anyway,
I just try to make sure anything that I do, I'm giving 100% to, and that's kind of how I balance like married life. I've had talks with other people, like wrestling buddies, that because wrestlers are busy, they're always traveling, and they, like some of my buddies have asked for my advice, and I say, when you're with your significant other, just put the phone away, put the distractions away, and give 100%. 100% of an hour is way better, in my opinion, than giving somebody 10% of a full day. Because you're distracted, you don't give a crap, you're not showing energy or attention towards that person. So, if anything, that to me has been the thing that's helped my relationship. The minute if I'm doing something with my wife, we're just doing that. I'm not being distracted by other stuff in life, and she has never once given me a hard time about being busy. And I think that's the reason, is because she knows that I have nothing but love for her, and I appreciate that she lets me do the things that I do to keep myself sane.
All right.
well, before you go, there's just one question I have to ask you, and I know I'm probably going to get hated for this, but anyway, here goes. Do you have like a Redbubble merch store?
Oh no!
Do you have a what merch store?
A Redbubble merch store?
No.
Good. Anyway, that's the end of that question. There goes David.
Oh my God.
I knew I was going to get hated for this. I'm sorry. There he goes.
He's out. You know what? I'm pissed too. I'm leaving as well.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, man, it's been a pleasure getting to chat with you. I'm sorry I wasn't able to make it happen last week. You guys are rad. I appreciate it.
Oh, same. Hey, same to you, man. I mean, I hope we can have you back on another time.
Absolutely.
And by the way, guys in the chat, thank you so much for giving out some questions here and there. I know I wasn't able to answer all of them, but yeah. Thank you so much, Steve Meggs. Hope to have you back soon one day. By the way, Game Show says, ha, 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 ha. Steve Meggs said Redbubble. Well, he doesn't have one, Danny, so there you go. That answers your question. Now, I know, leave me alone. Leave Danny alone. Oh, well, guess what? That meme's old and so are you. Anyway, dude. Anyway, I neither have the time or the crayons to tell you what I think of you, okay? Anyway, so yeah.
Let's get.
What was that, little man? What was that?
Nothing.
Yeah, right.
I commanded Brain to mute you and unmute you. Yeah, we can do that.
Yes, and I'm keeping an eye on you, David.
Yeah. We got an eye on you. Got an eye on you. Oh, yeah, give me black eye. You're so tough. Boo. Anyway, so let's get going with our topics. Brandon.
Anyway.
No.
Well, I think overall, though, it was a good episode of AEW Dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
It was, and we have the following, which is a tag team battle royal player. Holla, holla, holla. All right, do your dance there, David. Fooey. That's all right.
I just did it. You're welcome.
Yeah, right.
So says your mother.
Nothing.
All right.
I guess you could say, traitor.
Yeah.
Kind of like Danny's Trader Town on freaking Roblox.
Speaking of Trader Town, let this be a reminder that my Trader Town podcast merch is still available. Please check it out because I need money. Feel free to check out the other product as well if you're not interested in the Trader Town stuff.
Only it's like a train wreck in slow motion, and it's not even enjoyable at this point. Anyway.
Oh, I just told Danny just said I love that moment.
Yeah. Which one? The one with I asked him the question of Redbubble?
Yeah.
Yeah. I knew he'd go. I knew he'd like that, but still, he'd go. Yeah, leave Danny alone. Yeah, well, still. Anyway, you said A+ for the tag match.
That would be nice, but no.
Well, Jay Houston says A.
Jay's got it again. It is an A.
He better not be looking up the answers. I swear to God.
Yeah, he better not, because that's considered cheating, Jay.
Yep. We don't. The one thing I cannot stand is people who contradict and people who cheat. Just like if
like Danny Lewis on the Family Feud.
Or yeah, well, yeah, you could say that again. Or someone cheating on their diet or something. Hey, oh, trust me, I'm not. Okay, well,
Anyway.
we'll trust you.
Hey, dog, turn off Jen's computer. Go do it.
No, if she does that, if she does, I will freaking lose my shit. My dog turned off the laptop. My dog turned off the laptop. My dog turned off my laptop.
Dude, what the?
Oh my God! No, David.
Shut
We're
up.
not
Anyway,
doing that crap again.
let's just go to the next match, please.
Yes. Dang it, David. Anyway,
Close. A solid B.
you got it, Jordan.
Wait, I said B plus, and you never said I was close. What the crap, dude? You're breaking your own rules. Why?
Nope. Denied.
Access denied.
Anyway,
Okay, that's
that's a 3-1 now.
I guess that means 2 more. I think it's. Oh yeah, that's another 2 for me. Anyway,
All right. We got the next one. It is going to
oh
be
my God, Brandon, look.
what?
I am Jordan.
It's Jerome Latimer. Only it's when he was a kid and had hair. Jerome, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. I couldn't help myself.
Yeah.
I wonder
Anyway,
if he does watch these.
I hope he does, because I think he'd probably think it'd be cool to see us, I guess.
Yeah.
Wait.
Anyway.
Yep. AEW wins this week overall. For that. And that will be the end for the second topic of NXT. Grade levels from Bleacher Report.
Or the box seat or whatever.
Yeah.
Brandon, where's your glasses? You're the only one that doesn't wear glasses.
Yeah, you're not the only one that looks cool on this podcast. Just because I wear sunglasses, I only do this to stand out, not to look cool.
Oh, I know.
Oh my God, I know where he's going to do with this. I just know this guy.
Oh my gosh.
Let's see what he's going to do. I bet it's going to be. I bet it'll be something original, mind you, like I've done. I knew that was going to happen. I just knew it. Hold on. Hello, everyone. Go ahead, get on with my topic already, because since you're already done with that already, so. What, dude?
David, what are you doing?
Nothing.
No. What are you doing?
Nothing.
Look, Mr. Garrison, Mr. Gare Bear, you're doing something. What are you doing?
I'm not a bear.
No. You're a rhinoceros.
You're the Grinch.
Oh, well, you have termites in your smile.
You.
Anyway.